Hi all. We're gonna do an introduction to Unix, and the free version of Unix is called Linux, Linux. There's many versions of Linux. Probably the main version would be Red Hat. Whenever you see this photo here, that's what they're talking about, Red Hat Linux. There's many ways we could go about getting into this, but I think the easiest way is to just show you how to download it, and you can create a DVD from the download. You write the file to a DVD, and then you can run it. You can run Linux right off the DVD without having to install it on your computer. That's called a live DVD, L-I-V-E, live. It's almost like installing Linux on your computer, and it's a great place to start. And then if you decide later, you can use that DVD to install it on a computer too. Now, something else you can do is you can go to any bookstore that sells Linux magazines. There's like 3, 4, 5 of them out there, and they have DVDs in the back of those magazines, and sometimes those DVDs will have live versions of Linux, so you don't have to do the download. You can just use the DVD that came with the magazine. Okay, but for now I'm going to show you how to download it's basically the Red Hat version of Linux. The free version of Red Hat Linux is called Fedora. Okay, so whenever you see that word Fedora, you can replace that in your mind with Red Hat. A few years back, Red Hat just decided to rename their free product. Their website is Fedora Project. That's what it's been for years. So like if you just go out on the web and go Fedora project.org, hit the enter key, it brings you to their new website here. It says getfedora.org. Why they changed it, I don't know. Okay, so they're saying there's 3 versions here. There's a workstation version, a server version, and a cloud version. We'll start with the workstation. That's what you would run on your computer. Later on, we'll download the server, and we'll use the workstation version to connect to the server version, and maybe we'll get into the cloud too. Okay, so to download this, it's free. Let's just check out the rest of the page here. Let's see, there's a beta version of version number 23. You know. In general, for the most part, try to stay away from the new versions. These beta versions haven't really been tested. They're tested a little bit, and then the company releases them, and you install them on your computer, and they may or may not blow up. So it's fun to experiment with the new stuff. But for now, we're just gonna go with the regular workstation. So Fedora Workstation is a polished, easy-to-use operating system for laptop and desktop computers with a complete set of tools for developers and makers of all kinds. So I downloaded a few pictures here in case you've never seen it before we start the download. You can see here's a desktop screenshot of Fedora Linux. You can see it looks just like Windows. There's desktop. You got icons on your desktop. You've got a taskbar there along the bottom. Trash can. They've got some menu stuff here along the top. If you've never seen that before, I think that's what Mac does. I started on a Mac, but that was a long time ago, and I think they had their menu at the top, as opposed to Windows having a start button down here at the bottom. This is just another screenshot of Fedora. Whenever you see this penguin guy, that's the icon for Linux. So you'll see him all over the place. You can use Linux the old-fashioned way off the command line, and we'll definitely get into that. One good advantage of using Linux is Office. You know how Microsoft has Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and they want to charge you big bucks for it? Well, Linux has something called Open Office, and that's a free version of Office on Linux. It's not exactly the same as Microsoft Office, but it's similar. It's the same type of deal. When you start it up, this is the screenshot. So you can see here they've got something to make Word files or text files, something to make spreadsheets, some type of PowerPoint thing to make slides, a program to make drawings, a database application. So here's a screenshot of the Open Office. They call it the Writer. Instead of calling it Word, they call it Writer. You would write words on this page. If you're familiar with Word, this is a blank piece of paper. Here's a version of the Open Office spreadsheet. They call it Calc. C-A-L-C, Calc. So you can see you've got spreadsheets. You can put in charts, just like in Excel. 3 sheets here at the bottom. Okay, and there's our fellow with the red fedora hat. So there's many versions of Unix. There's many versions of Linux. So Fedora's the place to be because Red Hat tries their new features on Fedora first. Okay, the Red Hat company that makes Red Hat Linux tries out the new features on Fedora first, and then they incorporate them into the pay version that companies pay money for, Red Hat. Okay, so that's why this is cool. Now the other versions, like if we come out here to the web, and let's just go Linux versions. Let's see what, okay, they call it, instead of a version, they call it distributions. What are the distributions? Distros. What are the distros? So here, Network World, the magazine, they're saying the 9 Linux distros to watch. So let's see what they're saying for 2015. This is one of those topics that everybody and their mother has a different opinion. So okay, so we're going to download the workstation version. Click on that. It says download now. Download Fedora 22, 1.3 gig live image. That's the image you copy to a DVD. 64-bit. Practically all computers are 64-bit now, so unless your computer is ancient, then you should be okay. So we'll start to download it here. If you need a 32-bit, you can go here. Here. If you need a 32-bit, you can go here. It starts the download. Click OK to save it. I save it to my desktop, and I'm using Firefox here, so I can go Tools, Download, and I can watch it here. That's 64-bit, 32-bit stuff has to do with your computer hardware. If you right-click on your computer here, go to Properties, right here. It's a 64-bit operating system, so your hardware should be 64-bit too. If it says 32-bit here, you've got an older computer, and you can still run the 32-bit version, which is fine. You know, most of us had to run the 32-bit versions for years. I don't think you'll see a difference. We'll get into the details about that later. So you can see here it's downloading an ISO file. .iso. That's what you use to create your DVD with. You write the ISO to a DVD. It's real easy. Windows Multimedia Player will do it now, so you don't have to go out and buy a special DVD writer. You know? If you have Nero or some other type of DVD writer, there's a part of that application that you can grab an ISO and write it to a DVD. But these days, Windows can do it for free. Okay, so we'll let this run, and I'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, the download is finished. This is the ISO file. It's for Fedora Linux. You see it's 1.33 gig. So now I'm going to write that to DVD. I'm going to put a blank DVD into the computer. 4.7 gig. Okay, I got this. Here I can burn it to disk. But that might just copy it as a USB. But here, let's see what. Burn disk image. I usually don't bother with the verifying disk, you know. If it doesn't work, we can always come back and do it again. My experience is it'll write the disk real quick, and then it takes 4 times as long to verify it. So I usually don't bother with it. And then burn. Okay, so that went pretty quick. Okay, let's have a look at the disk and see what's on it. Okay, so it wrote it as just like a disk if you bought it from the factory. Okay, so next time we'll boot to the DVD, and I'll show you how the live disk works. See ya. Bye.